Ohio farmers threaten legal action over land dispute. And body of man found in Camalote and fatal accident reported down south. We'll take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Clean and maintain your yard the best way with Honda trimmers and lawn mowers. Honda Lawn and Garden Equipment. Available at Benquip. Equipment, parts, service.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Atlantic Bank will never request your username. Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Have a vision? We've got what you need.
And to come up to where it is now, where it looks, and to come up to where it is now, where it looks very solid, presentable, and safety for the tourists that come here. And sometimes we have a tendency to forget that Monkey River is also a big tourist destination. Just today, for example, we have seen about 200 tourists coming here, and from the report.
Minister ordered a pause on Belize Telemedia Limited's planned buyout of SpeedNet Communications Limited. The pause is intended for BTL to hold meaningful consultations, but one group, the National Evangelical Association of Churches of Belize, says that consultation, Evangelical Association of Churches of Belize, says that consultation or not, its position remains unchanged.
Market pure. There could be a list market pure. There could be a listing of 50 different things that they're going to do. We are not interested in a monopoly telecommunications.
PUC officials are saying if there's a takeover, it won't be a monopoly in all markets, only in some.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
The National Bus Company, NBC, was just formed last week with 3 government-owned electric buses and 123 diesel buses from 17 participating bus operators. However, government officials have planned an ambitious transition to a fully electric fleet. They want to acquire 110 units starting in September this year and continuing through to the end of 2027. According to the Ministry of Transport's research on pricing for manufacturers in the US, Europe, and Asia, one electric bus could cost between $325,000 and $450,000. Here's Minister of Transport, Honorable Louis Zabane.
Talking about an expenditure at the lowest end, $325,000 of about 70 million for those 110 buses.
That is correct. Yes, it's not a cheap venture, but fortunately, a company now of about 50 million as an opening balance sheet now has the capacity to do that. We're also looking to, because there are opportunities for grants for transitioning from diesel to electric buses. So we have options like the Green Climate Fund. We're discussing with the European Union and of course with our partners in Taiwan. So it's possible. Until we actually have the bird in hand, we won't be able to say in detail, but we are working vigorously.
$0.5 million or 39.2% of equity in the National Bus Company. Today we asked Minister of Transport, Honorable Dr. Louis Zabane, what the $19.5 million represents.
What was received by way of that 19.5 equity share of the 17 bus operators?
So that adds up to 123 buses of various levels of conditions of roadworthiness. The majority, I must say, are roadworthy. And the cash flows, the road service permits is what allows the companies to operate. So those permits then allow the buses to go at certain times. And then you calculate how much income is made and the expenses that go with those routes. So that is what National Bus Company has done in terms of the evaluation from the auditors, have calculated a certain amount, and that adds up to the 19+ million.
How many buses do the 14 have?
They would end up then having about 70 buses, because the total is around 190 buses overall.
The Ministry of Transport is moving from a 42-member enforcement staff to close to 200. At the latest meeting for the update on the National Bus Company, Transport CEO Chester Williams affirmed that operators will be held accountable as standards must improve. Minister Louis Zabane notified that all operators have been apprised, and today he shared that they have already started enforcing compliance with road service permits.
Of those 14, how many would stand to close down if you were to enforce them?
Oh my, as we stand right now, the majority, unfortunately, because the conditions are very clear on certain things, like you have to have a spare tire, you have to have a fire extinguisher, your lights have to be working, all these things. And those infractions occur practically every day. Now we have been tightening up. We have now had a number of checkpoints focused on buses. We have written letters to these operators so they know we have to follow natural justice, so that it's not a matter of just shutting them down. We have to give them time to be able to improve and show to us that They're making the effort to meet these conditions, but they know very clearly what those conditions are, and they know that they have not been living up to them over the years.
But since those warnings, has there been a
I do see that there's been some effort, at least when we're checking now for spare tires. We see spare tires there, but it's not just a spare tire. It has to be the quality of the tire. You can't bring, as we say in Creole, onion skin.
Are we looking at some of those 14 going out of business, say, within the next year?
No, I am hoping, we're optimists. We believe that they understood clearly that if they did not join the National Bus Company, it was because they had the capacity to meet those conditions. And so we have given them the opportunity to improve themselves. We don't have any animosity to anyone who has not come in. They have a right to have their business, but they have to meet the conditions, and they have had the information. In fact, from the 30th of May, we had a general meeting with all operators, and then we met individually with them. So they know very clearly that they must meet these conditions, and we are going to go forward in enforcing those conditions.
After the break, Cayo area rep said he was disappointed.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080.
Is that all? This is everything.
On your rate sheets. Share the landed cost with your customer and finalize the sale in minutes. Once the sale is confirmed, the system generates your declaration identification number, your key to a smooth and fast drop-off. And if you don't have internet access, you can always visit any of our post offices for assistance. Bring your unsealed package and declaration ID to any Belize Postal Service location. Our clerks will verify your items, seal your package, and prepare your declaration, quick and simple. It's fast, simple, reliable. The Belize Postal Service, connecting your business to the world.
Belize City is growing because of continued investment. From rehabilitated streets to expanding neighborhoods, significant investments are improving how our city functions and how our communities live. In the last 2 years alone, more than 250 streets have been rehabilitated, representing almost $34 million invested directly in physical infrastructure that improves access and quality of life. At the same time, the city continues to expand. Developments such as the Holy Emmanuel area, also known as Gungulung, reflect increased demand for land and housing as Belize City expands and a more sustained value has appreciated by 40%, making the property now $1,000, which works out to $700. For an occupied property valued at $25,000, we charge an annual 10% rate, which works out to $2,500. Remember, this adjustment represents an appreciation in your property's worth, not a change in tax rates, ensuring continued investment in your city while providing valuable data for informing investors, municipal bondholders, and individual credit assessments. And we want residents to know the law provides a clear mechanism for review and appeal if needed. Those who believe their valuation does not fairly reflect their property have the right to engage the Belize City Valuation Appeals Board. Your Belize City Council remains committed to openness, accountability, and ensuring that growth is managed fairly for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you out right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
In police news, the body of 61-year-old Nicholas Emmanuel Hernandez was located Thursday evening at around 6:30 in the passenger seat of a GMC Acadia SUV. The vehicle was parked near a cement building. A relative discovered his body, which was already in an advanced state of decomposition. He was last seen alive on Monday, February 16 at around 7:30 p.m. A post-mortem is expected to shed light on his cause of death. Meanwhile, 38-year-old Brandon Alex Coleman, farmers squatting on land near San Antonio, Cayo, have sought legal representation after claiming they have been threatened and even shot at. In a statement released by their attorney, Brian Neal, the farmers claim they have been on the land for many years, tilling the land and providing vegetables for the community. They state that back in January, a person presented himself as the caretaker of the land and attempted to remove them, even though they say he presented no documentation. They're now calling for the Belize Police Department and Ministry of Natural Resources to the matter. Ministry personnel deemed the matter to be a private one, given that the land is privately owned. On Thursday, Honorable Orlando Habet commented on the issue, agreeing with the ministry's stance. However, he also said that even the ministry should have done its homework.
You don't squat and build overnight. It takes years. So why is it that you don't take them out from the beginning? I recall when the mayor of Belmopan said that they had to take down a house that was being built in Belmopan and in Belmopan proper. How do you pass there every day and don't see the construction coming up, and then you're going to want to go bulldoze on the house? You have to do it from the very beginning. But also, I think the farmers or people need to be educated, not only in that area, but all over the country, that when you go to apply for a parcel of land, they give you a receipt saying that you applied, and it has an NES number saying that you have an application. But that doesn't mean to say that you have already gotten the land. You don't have a lease, you don't have a permission to survey or anything. And my understanding is that many of these persons did that, and they got an application receipt, a receipt for saying that you applied, and that's it. No survey, no nothing, because they can't give you permission to survey because it's in private land. So it's difficult to, I mean, I'm a farmer, so I would like to support the farmers, but I wouldn't want people to go squat in my land either. So that's it's a problem. But I think that the problem that the lands department will have is that this is private land. So usually the government doesn't interfere in these affairs. So it would have to be the owner of the land to find an attorney to see how they solve the problem. But if us as government give them a receipt, we should have done the homework first and see, listen, where are you applying? Is this parcel of land? Can't give you even a receipt, can't even accept your application. At about 100,000 people, in Cayo district, and about 80,000 of those are registered with a social security card. So that is the potential amount of people that can apply. And so there will be some in Belmopan, Cayo South, Benque, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, and then clinics, I think 1 or 2 clinics in the villages. So I think that it's a golden opportunity for our people. Many times we see that they go to the hospitals, they're supposed to provide the primary health care. Maybe they don't have sufficient doctors, nurses, and maybe sometimes they don't have the medication. Some of them would be treated, but they say, okay, but you need a laboratory test. They can't do it at the hospital, you have to go elsewhere. So I think all of these things will come into one, and it will be a great assistance for the people of the Cayo district.
The ministry, with church leaders and members of the National Evangel Association of Belize, NEAB, and the Council of Churches. It's the first time both groups are meeting Minister Louis Zabanet together. The minister shared that the objective was to expand priority areas of partnership. We also spoke with the president of NEAB, Pastor Santi Valencia.
I think they have some very good ideas on expanding the traditional church state in the education area, which we have always been doing for decades. But they want to look at how else can they become more involved on community areas, areas that have to do with security, etc. So we want to explore those other areas.
We're fortunate to have a country that the government partner with the church, which is, I think, is proper order based on our constitution and the very preamble of our constitution. And some of the inputs that I believe the church has to offer where legislations are concerned, because there are certain things that the government, certain bills and so forth, that maybe government want to push through certain things. We got to be the fiduciary of morality as the church. And so I'm hoping that together we could come up with an amicable solution to have a good, healthy balance where government church is concerned when it comes to the entire running of the nation and the bills being passed in the House and so forth, and how it will affect everybody, not just the church, but everybody.
NEAB Vice President Pastor Scott Sturm shared the meeting was not meant for a discussion about the Equal Opportunities Bill, but he revealed that there are still portions of the bill they deem to be of concern.
Very much so. And so what I want to say first, though, is that the meeting today is we're not trashing out issues on some of these bills. This is the first time for us to have a meeting like this with this minister. And so under the last term with Minister Usher, we had a wonderful partnership. And he was the one who actually put the foot forward to say, hey, instead of quarreling with the church over these issues, let's pull closer together and we can actually help craft, some of the bills where we can avoid some of the difficulties. So it's part of that whole partnership relationship. So what's happening today is not trashing out issues. It's more so it's a first with Minister Zabanet and for this term of government, but just working out those dynamics of partnership, not only between church and government, but also the different parts of the church. And so it's wonderful, and it's all part of the important thing. But when it comes to bills, like many of the bills, it's not a matter of opposing, like the families bill.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't opposed to the families bill, but there was some stuff in that when we brought it to their attention, they said, "Oh my goodness, we didn't realize," and so they went back to the drawing board, and so it's the process of democracy. We have the social partner senators. One of those is a church senator, and it's a process of effective democracy to be able to get bills that are going to be to the benefit of the nation of Belize.
On Wednesday, the Minister of Sports, Honorable Anthony Mahler, shared more details on the planned upgrades for certain sporting facilities across the country. Mahler revealed that there should be upgrades coming to Orange Walk's People's Stadium, the MCC grounds and Mexico Center in Belize City, as well as facilities in Punta Gorda and Dangriga. He also said that there may be a basketball court installed in the new permanent facility that will be built in San Pedro for the International Music and Food Festival.
That's one of the things that we're thinking about. But we have the full design for the facility, and when the new budget kicks in April, we'll start some work out there in terms of the ground and in terms of the roof.
And then the sports minister had also indicated that it would get some wooden courts for some facilities, basketball courts. How's that?
Synthetic courts.
Okay.
We've ordered 5, and so they'll come.
Change in communities.
Our administration truly believes that sports can be a vehicle for massive change. And we have 4 major pillars for sports. Sports and education being the main one. So we believe that you can use sports as a vehicle to get people abroad to study and to come back equipped with world experiences and with their education. Sports and healthcare, it is important for us because the last time I checked, about 60% of our population is afflicted by some non-communicable disease. And we believe that if we inject sports in the primary schools and in the psyche of the Belizean people, then we can be a healthier people.
After the break, Berger Field upgrade has proven so successful, a new turf is now needed. Stay tuned.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people.
Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Well, there was a pier here and it was about to collapse, and we managed to rehabilitate it and to come up to where it is now, where it looks very solid, presentable, and safety for the tourists that come here. And sometimes we have a tendency to forget that Monkey River is also a big tourist destination. Just today, for example, we have seen about 200 tourists coming here. And from the report that I received from the village council is that that will be the average amount of tourists visiting the island. But sometimes when the cruise ship will visit Harvest Key, there is an increase of tourists, which means we need to do more investment into Monkey River, simply because there is no signage where we can take a picture here. There is no information center, and at the same time we have a hallmark when you look at the beautiful Monkey River, where we have some of the unique holla monkeys in Belize.
A nice fish market for people to go. A nice fish market for people to go. The smaller booths, if you want to fry jack and you want your flour tortilla and your beans and things at night and your or the day, the morning, whatever it is, you could go there and get it. But it's a fish market, and we're going to introduce this thing called fish fry. You know? I've seen it in the Caribbean, in many of the islands, and so maybe a Thursday night or a Saturday night we have entertainment. Well, as you can see, that field has become overused, so we're trying to curtail it. Right now, we have to change the pitch already, the turf, and so we've ordered it already, and then we'll go in there. But that has created tremendous excitement in Belize City, and what we're doing right now at the National Sports Council is looking at all real estate that is out there, whether it's a basketball court somewhere, it's a football field, softball field, and how can we go into those communities to improve them so that when you have a Rogers Stadium, then you don't have to have competitions there, you don't have to have practices there and everything. You can only have competition, and then you have practice fields where they can go by. Same thing with football, same thing with basketball.
Recent incidents in which members were harmed during encounters with individuals living with mental health disorders has once more placed a spotlight on available treatment in the country. Yvette Quintanilla, the mental health coordinator in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, explained that these disorders develop over time. She stressed the importance of family involvement and explained what signs to look for and what can be done to seek proper treatment. She also outlined what can be done when someone is experiencing a mental health episode.
The changes are coming along slowly as we move along, but we have been working very closely with different ministries. For example, last year we did multiple sessions with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Human Development. We have been working very closely with the police last year as well. And well, to start off this year, we have a large group of different ministries that are being to not wait. Once you start to see the changes, it's important for them to be taken to the clinics so that a proper assessment can be done and the intervention can be provided from very early rather than waiting, when incidents happen out there with the public, where they become psychotic, and then they pose a harm to themselves or to other people.
And what happens if they get to a situation where it's kind of like an emergency?
Okay, they can be taken to the emergency rooms. All the hospitals are equipped to respond to any crisis. We have done training with medical officers when it comes to mental health gap training, and that training is specifically to prepare medical officers to provide that initial intervention, the diagnosis and the treatment, and then make the referral to the mental health team, who then will further assess and continue with the treatment.
If you traverse North Front Street in Belize City recently, you will see a few bright, colorful buildings and booths under construction. This will be the site of the city's new fish market. However, this week, Minister of Tourism, Honorable Anthony Mahler, explained that the new construction will not just simply be a fish market, but an entire. And in December, we reported that Liet Air out of Antigua and Barbuda in the Eastern Caribbean had expressed interest in expanding its service to Belize in 2026. Liat Air offers scheduled flights to 14 Caribbean countries, and there are currently no scheduled flights from Belize to any Caribbean country. On Wednesday, Minister of Tourism, Honorable Anthony Mahler, gave an update on Liat's interest, saying negotiations are still ongoing. Mahler revealed that with Belize increasing in popularity as a tourist destination, there are now options available, and that the Belize Tourism Board must now decide which airlink to pursue next, especially since airlines are negotiating incentives before committing to open a new route.
We're still in negotiation with them. All airlines want money to be put on the table now, and so we have to, like the government, we have to manage our resources. So should we put the money in a route from Montego Bay or Kingston, or should we put that money from somewhere in Europe or somewhere in South America that opens up a new market really for us, right?
And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again Monday at midday. Join us again Monday for another edition of the news, and remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV BHNI app. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe